times. So, oh my God. What's going on, y'all? You're now watching the greatest channel that has ever existed. I am 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘵, and I appreciate you guys for being here with me. So last time that we were here, we were talking about Pulsechain and how it's going to be worth so much money. And you guys ripped me a new one saying that I was talking about hopium and all this other stuff. In fact, let me go look at the comments. MBS504M said, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. You might want to remove this video, not to ridicule yourself. I'm not removing the video. Even if I say something wrong, it's fine. I'm okay to own it. I will own up to my mistakes. I can correct it later, but I'm not removing the video. You're mixing up the bonding curve with the market pricing. These are completely unrelated numbers. The only thing they show is how much people are willing to sacrifice for one pulse. I get that, that's true. The bonding curve is not directly related to market capitalization. We'll see how it works. We'll see how the pulse sacrifice actually ends up factoring when the Pulsechain finally launches. So let's see what happens. 𝘊𝘰𝘯𝘦 said, so $1 gets you 10,000 pulse when sacrificed within the first 5 days, and $100 gets you 8 million pulse. Really? I told him that I meant 1 million pulse, not 8 million pulse. I talk really fast in these videos because I'm very excited about this coin, so sometimes I just stumble over my words. And then someone else replies to him, please don't listen to him, he's making a logical mistake. Blah, 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 blah. Alex Pro said that you got into the Pulsechain sacrifice with no vid on it. And I replied that I would rather not teach people about how to sacrifice right now, because the sacrifice that you'll be paying for the Pulsechain sacrifice is thousands and thousands of times more expensive than if you got into it in summer of 2021. So there's no point in actually sacrificing into Pulsechain. What you need to do is sacrifice into PulSEX, which is what this video is right now. Someone else said that, was it $6? Laughing emoji. You know what? Maybe I had too much hopium. After I did some more research, I realized that maybe I was too optimistic about it. I totally get it. So instead of me saying that it's going to launch at 6 cents day one of Pulsechain coming out, let's say that it launches at 0.6 cents. That's 10 times smaller than my initial price prediction on day one of launch. So when it comes out at 0.6 cents at day one of launch, you're still going to be making 60 times the amount than if you sacrificed on the first day of the Pulsechain launch. 60 times the amount. So you'll be fine. And Pulsechain is going to be so dramatically popular. If you go on a Telegram, if you go on the Twitter, if you go on even on the Instagram pages, and you read the comments of the people that have sacrificed or that wish they sacrificed into Pulsechain, they're all going to be buying PulseX. They're all going to be buying the Hex coin, and they're going to immediately swap the Hex and the PulseX coins for Pulsechain on day one. So this chain is going to shoot up on day one. It might shoot up and then come back down after the people with weak hands sell it, people with paper hands sell it, but it is going to shoot up to 0.6 cents the day one of the Pulsechain launch. I almost guarantee it.
Guarantee! Guarantee!
Like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is probably the worst person that I should use in this example, but whatever. I guarantee that's going to happen. It's going to launch at like 0.6 cents per chain. Let's see what happens though. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what happens. So I keep talking about PulseX this and PulseX that. What exactly is PulseX? Why am I so excited about it? And why is it one of the greatest opportunities that you can get into right now? So to answer all these questions, what we need to do is go to PulseX.com and then go to the frequently asked questions so I can explain every single thing that's going on right now, okay? So let's start with the very first question. Is this PulseSwap? Yes, it is. The name PulseSwap was more of a placeholder before he actually came out with this website and the name of the coin called PulseX. A lot of people are making fun of the name of the coin because it has the word pulse and then it has the word sex in it. Grow up, we're not children anymore. Although it is kind of funny, I get it. When will PulseX be released? The answer is when the Pulsechain mainnet launches, which probably will be in a few months. I like how he said probably in a few months. He came out with this website December, I believe. But all the signs are being pointing to that it's going to be launched in March of 2022 or April of 2022. Keep your fingers crossed. It's very, very likely that's going to be launched in like April at the latest. How many PulseX will there be? The supply of PulseX is determined by the total amount of USD that will be sacrificed. So far, the amount that has been sacrificed, we go to pulsexlead.com, and we see that $1,015,000,000 has been sacrificed for PulSEX. So over $1 billion has been sacrificed for PulSEX. The meaning of this is that for every $1 of PulSEX that's sacrificed, there's 10,000 PulSEX points that you'll receive. So far that means that it's guaranteed that there's going to be 10 trillion PulSEX points that will be given out to the public, the people that sacrifice. And it's not exactly 10 million because you have to take into account the bonding curve, and you have to take into account the volume multiplier, depending on how much money that you sacrifice. And I'll talk about that in later videos. But when you average all those things in, it ends up being about 10 trillion PulSEX points that's going to be given to the public. Okay, what will the PulSEX be worth? We're going to answer that question at the end of this video. Okay, stay tuned. Will you be able to see the code? Yes, you'll be able to see the code soon. Will I be able to store my PulSEX on my MetaMask? Yes. In fact, this is the way that I did it. This is the way that the vast majority of people did it also. You will also be able to store it on your local wallet, hopefully. We will see. He might come out with the details of that, but so far for sure, you'll be able to store it on your MetaMask. You only need to connect to Pulsechain, switch to the network within the MetaMask, and you should be good to go. Then you'll see all your PRC20 tokens, including PulSEX. If you need me to explain what PRC20 tokens is, look at my Pulsechain video that I talked about, that I released like a few days ago. Oh, and then finally he said you will be able to store your PulSEX in other wallets as well. I almost guarantee that you'll be able to store it in your Ledger Nano or your ledgerx wallets too. I'll be very shocked if you're not able to store it in those. So more details will be coming out. I still have questions. Where can I talk to about PulSEX? Yeah, just go, if you have other questions, ask me questions below, or even go on the PulSEX chat. Go on the Telegram group for the PulSEX. It's absolutely amazing. The community is amazing. They keep you on your toes. Like you saw, they gave me comments. They always keep you on your toes too. So I'm going to come out with a video that explains how exactly you're going to sacrifice for PulSEX. But right now, I'm just describing what PulSEX is, and I'm describing what I believe that the price prediction is going to be. Okay, so what you're doing, what I mean by sacrificing for PulSEX, what that means is that you're sacrificing your crypto not to buy PulSEX. You're giving your crypto away. And the reason why you say that you're giving your crypto away is for tax reasons, because if you buy PulSEX, you have to pay taxes on top of it. And also it's treated like a security. Ask your financial advisor about this. He has more details than this. But anyways, this is pretty much a donation. You're donating it for free speech, and you're donating it for the freedom of movement. Sacrifice is a political statement. Once you have done that, you do not own the cryptos that you sacrificed anymore. You never expect a profit from the work of others. This is technical jargon. This is lawyer jargon for that. When you give your coins away, you do not expect anything in return. But you're going to get PulSEX points in return. You're going to get 10,000 PulSEX for every $1 that you sacrifice. Okay. Once you have done that, you do not own it anymore. Whoever owns your crypto after you sacrifice it does not do work for you, right? This is what you have to say. So how do you get your PulSEX? You'll get credit for PulSEX, which will be free. The PulSEX will be worth $0 as soon as you get it, once you sacrificed it on pulsex.info. Pulsechain credited a similar sacrifice phase some months ago in the summer of 2021 to distribute its native token to Pulse sacrifices. Can I also donate to the Sense sacrifice? No, you cannot donate PulSEX to the Sense sacrifice. Sense sacrifice was a charity that Richard Heart created. Richard Heart is the creator of PulSEX and Pulsechain and Hex. The charity's main focus is to extend life, to solve a lot of problems and solve a lot of diseases that plague the older population and all the populations, honestly. He was able to create $29 million worth of donations for people having more longevity and people having better lives through his charity. That's really amazing. Kudos to him. PulSEX is pretty much almost like the world's largest yield farm. Kind of works like that a little bit. So if you have an ERC20 token in your wallet, in your Ledger Nano wallet, or if you have it on your MetaMask wallet, not on an exchange, on your actual wallet where you have the keys to your wallet, you will receive a PRC20 copy of that ERC20 token. Now, will this PRC20 copy have the exact value of the original ERC20 tokens? Maybe, maybe not, but it's very, very likely that it will have some value. it will have some type of value. And it's very likely that it will have the equal amount of value, or maybe even a higher value, because the Pulse chain works way faster than the Ethereum chain works. And its gas fees are way cheaper. The gas fees are like for doing an exchange of coins is less than a penny. So extremely cheap. So it will have value. PRC20 tokens, the P in the PRC20 stands for Pulse chain. Pulse chain will copy the system state of the Ethereum chain. Okay, so you will get an identical copy of all the ERC20 tokens. This is what the PRC20 tokens are. PulseX is what you use to exchange these coins, and it's a deflationary asset. Okay, so we're going to start off with about maybe 10 trillion coins when it finally launches, and 10 trillion coins will be the highest amount of PulseX that will ever exist forever. It's only going to reduce the amount of coins forever because the chain is going to do a buy and burn. I'm going to explain that a little bit more later. So what is PulseX? PulseX pretty much is a copy of Uniswap. It acts exactly like Uniswap acts, only with Pulse chain tokens, not necessarily Ethereum tokens. What does PulseX, the coins itself, do? Well, PulseX is a coin that is simply designed to increase in value. It does this because its coin is used to help trade other coins on the PulseX exchange. PulseX coin and PulseX exchange have the same name, so it's kind of confusing. So when people say PulseX, they may be talking about the coin, or they may be talking about the actual exchange. So the way that PulseX exchange works is that every single time someone exchanges one coin for another, they have to pay a 0.29% swap fee. Now, the reason why it's 0.29% is because all the other exchanges charge a 0.3% exchange fee. And Richard Hart just, wanted to give you a tiny discount. This 0.29% swap fee increases the value of PulseX. 21% of this fee is used to buy up PulseX and then burn it permanently. This increases its value. Uniswap, the exchange for Ethereum, does about $10 billion of transactions every single day. Let's just estimate that PulseX does about $2 billion instead. So 1/5 of what Uniswap does. If it does $2 billion of transactions a day, PulseX holders will receive the equivalent of $1.2 million a day. To be very honest, I say $2 billion of transactions, but I think it's going to be much higher. I just say $2 billion to be conservative. But remember, the system state is going to be copied over. PulseX and Pulse chain transactions will only take about 3 seconds or less. The transactions will cost less than 1 penny. People are going to receive copies of their ERC20 tokens by doing absolutely nothing on their own personal wallets. All these things will make PulseX and Pulse chain extremely popular. So it doing $2 billion a day is just what I'm going to say, just so I don't talk about hopium, but I think it's going to be absolutely explosive. Mark my words. And another thing that's going to pump up the PulseX price is that PulseX holders are the only people that are allowed to vote on how much a new undisclosed, another new coin, like a fourth coin, an undisclosed incentive token that's coming out. These PulseX holders are the only ones that are allowed to vote on how much this new incentive token is distributed to certain trading pairs, and these PulseX holders will also vote on which trading pairs are allowed to get these incentive tokens in the very first place. So let's get to the important part. PulseX price prediction. So I know you guys were talking trash about me, so you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more technical this time. I'm going to talk about in detail about how much the PulseX price will actually be worth. So to get an accurate prediction of what the PulseX price will be, let me just talk about what I think the price will go from its initial offering, which is happening right now, by the way. You can sacrifice for PulseX points and get an initial offering price. You'll find out the initial offering price, the day one launch, whatever. We're going to talk about the initial offering amounts that you sacrifice, and then we're going to talk about how much that initial offering, how much the PulseX points will be worth in its all-time high. And this is a short-term all-time high that's less than 3 years. In order to get a very, very educated guess, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the most popular decentralized exchange coins, centralized exchange coins, and governance coins that also are layer 2s on top of Ethereum. Okay, so these popular ones are, look at this chart right here. We have Uniswap, we have SushiSwap, Ethereum coins, PancakeSwap coins, Binance coins, Serum coins, and Solana. What I did was I took I didn't make this chart up myself. It came from Maserati.io and Nomics. .com. What they did and what we did was initially we took the time from its launch price to its all-time high price for each one of the coins. So for Uniswap was 8 months, SushiSwap was 8 months, Ethereum was 74 months, right? So we took all that and then we got the average. The average amount of time that it got to its all-time high was 25 months, so about 2 years. Then we also looked at the initial offering, which is happening right now. Okay, so no excuses. I'm going to come out with it. My next video is going to talk about how you can sacrifice to get this initial offering price. We're taking the amount from the initial offering, and then we're going to calculate the initial offering price to the all-time high price. That's going to happen in about 25 months. So for Uniswap, it was 173x. Jesus. For SushiSwap, the 6S. For Ethereum was 16,158x. Okay, that's absolutely insane, but it's not that crazy because Hex did 10,000x in less than 2 years. So these prices are not ridiculous. And after we did all these calculations, right, the initial offering to its all-time high that took an average of 25 months for all was 3,300x. So it grew 3,300 times. So, oh my God. So today is February 6th. So that means you're going to receive about 2,500 PulseX points for every $1,000 that you sacrifice. So that means that your $1,000 will be worth $825,000 in about 25 months from now. Again, if you think that's crazy, you haven't been in crypto. Hex has increased 1,000,000%. I have the letter that Richard Hart mailed to a lot of people. It increased by 1,000,000%. So 3,300 is about a third of the increase of Hex. I totally, completely see it happening. And I know you guys are going to say that Pulsechain sacrifice is not directly related to the market capitalization. I totally get it. But this is the most educated guess that we can have right now. And this is the limited amount of evidence that I have to have the most accurate amount of a price prediction. I believe that once you sacrifice today, once you sacrifice as soon as possible, it will increase in value 3,300x in the next 25 months. Okay, that's a very good educated guess, and it's very likely to happen. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just a good guess. I'm telling you this because I thank you, I love you, I appreciate you. Let's get this money.